The sky above Goyang trembled with anticipation on June 13, 2025, as fans flooded the Goyang Stadium, not just for a concert, but for a moment that would go down in K-pop history. It was the 12th anniversary of BTS, and just when the world wondered if the group would ever stand together again after their military service, three familiar silhouettes stepped into the spotlight: Jungkook, Jin, and J-Hope. As the opening notes of Jamais echoed across the stadium, something shifted in the atmosphere. This wasn't just another song. This was a heartbeat, a memory, a reunion. The performance, which was part of J-Hope's final show for his Hope on the Stage tour, marked the trio's first time performing together on stage since their hiatus, due to military service. And the choice of song wasn't random. Jamais, a track from BTS's Map of the Soul, Persona album released in 2019, has long been cherished for its haunting lyrics about resilience, confusion, and starting over despite pain. To hear it now, sung by voices matured not just musically but emotionally, was nothing short of breathtaking. Jungkook, recently discharged from the military, stood center stage, his voice powerful but tinged with emotion. Jin, who had returned earlier this year, looked calm yet protective, glancing occasionally toward his younger brothers as if silently saying, "You're safe here." J-Hope, always the energy source of the group, fought back tears as he rapped his verses, his hands trembling slightly. The audience was not just watching, they were part of it. Many held light sticks high in the air, some crying openly, others simply whispering lyrics in unison. It felt less like a concert and more like a collective healing ritual. Fans knew what this meant. It was a sign, not of a complete return yet, but of unbroken unity. The timing of the performance, on BTS's 12th anniversary, was both deliberate and symbolic. It was a message to the world. We may be scattered by duty, but we are not broken. We're still here. The emotional intensity of the moment was amplified by what came before it. Only days earlier, Jungkook had been the target of a saying stalker incident that threatened not only his privacy, but his sense of safety. The fact that he still chose to stand on that stage, in front of thousands, spoke volumes about his resilience and the strength he draws from his bandmates. After the performance, the trio stood in silence for a moment, holding hands. No words were needed. The lights dimmed. The stadium roared. And BTS had once again reminded the world why they are more than just a band. They are a family. While the full group reunion remains uncertain, this moment in Goyang, fueled by music, memory, and love, was enough to assure millions of armies that the heart of BTS still beats strong. And when that heart beats, the world listens. While the audience erupted in applause and tears, behind the scenes told a quieter, more intimate story. Staff members described the atmosphere backstage as electric but emotional, with moments of silence broken only by brief reassurances exchanged between the three performers. One staffer recalled Jin pacing slowly before the stage entrance, muttering the lyrics to himself, not out of nervousness, but as if grounding himself before stepping into history. Jungkook, dressed in a minimalist black outfit and a gray shirt, had spent hours in rehearsal trying to perfect every note. But according to those present, it wasn't technical perfection he was chasing, it was emotional connection. And when he opened his mouth to sing the first lines of Jamais, it was clear. This was not just a comeback. This was an act of healing. J-Hope, the architect of the tour, was instrumental in coordinating this moment. Though the concert was originally intended to mark the end of his global solo tour, Hope on the Stage, J-Hope insisted on reserving this night for something bigger. "Let's give them a moment they'll never forget," he reportedly told his team. And he did. The power of Jamais in 2025. It's important to understand why Jamais meant so much that night. The song, originally performed by Jungkook, J-Hope, and Jin in 2019, explores the haunting feeling of experiencing something familiar in an unfamiliar way, like knowing a path but suddenly not recognizing it. In many ways, it became a metaphor for BTS themselves in 2025, after years of global fame, chart-topping success, and then separation due to military service. Coming back to the stage, even in a partial reunion, must have felt strange. But in that strangeness, they found strength, a S-Army sang along. Many fans noted the bittersweet beauty of hearing voices that had matured, mellowed, and deepened, not just from time, but from life experience. The pain of separation, the weight of expectations, the courage to return. What this means for BTS's future while Big Hit and HYB have not officially confirmed a full group comeback. Sources inside the company hint that 2026 could mark a pivotal year. With all members expected to complete military service by then, and the unprecedented fan response to this Goyang performance, insiders speculate that the company is preparing something monumental. Bang Si-hyuk himself shared a cryptic post on Weverse just hours after the concert, simply stating, 12 years. And we're just getting started. Fans are now buzzing with theories. Some believe the performance of Jamais was a coded message, hinting at the group's next chapter. Others wonder if this was the soft launch of a gradual return to group activities. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is clear. BTS hasn't lost their magic, a night that lives forever. As the final notes of Jamais faded into the stadium and the lights dimmed, fans held their light sticks a little tighter. The members bowed deeply. There were no fireworks, no confetti, no dramatic closing statements. Just three brothers, standing together again, in a world where moments come and go at lightning speed. This performance etched itself into eternity, not because of flashy effects or perfect vocals, but because of its raw humanity. In a time of chaos and uncertainty, BTS gave the world a moment of clarity. And that moment began with three voices, one song, and a promise that even after the storm, there's still music, and still BTS. The Goyang performance didn't just touch the hearts of those inside the stadium, it sparked a global reaction. Within minutes of the trio stepping off stage, hashtags like #Jamais2025, #BTS Reunion, and #Jungkook Returns began trending worldwide. Fan communities in Seoul, Tokyo, Paris, and Sao Paulo organized instant live watch parties, sharing tears and theories through live streams and group chats. International media quickly picked up the story. Major outlets like Billboard, Rolling Stone, and The Guardian called the performance an emotional reset for K-pop and one of the most culturally significant reunions of the year. Critics were stunned by the raw sincerity the trio brought to the stage, with one UK reporter noting, "This wasn't just BTS reminding us who they are, this was them reminding themselves, too." But perhaps the most powerful reactions came from fans. Messages poured in by the millions. From handwritten letters in Seoul cafes to TikTok edits showing fans crying as they watched from afar, it was clear that Jamais had done more than stir nostalgia. It reignited something that had quietly dimmed during the group's time apart. Hope. Whispers behind the curtain. HYB's internal shift internally. The performance seems to have had ripple effects inside HYB as well. Sources close to the company revealed that several high-ranking staff were seen attending the concert, quiet, observant, and visibly moved. Bang Si-hyuk was reportedly spotted backstage during rehearsals, personally thanking the crew and bowing deeply to the members before they went on stage. While no official statement was made that night, a leaked internal memo hinted at a new strategic direction for BTS in 2026, describing it as the year of reconnection. If the memo proves true, fans may not have to wait long for more moments like Goyang. Jin's quiet strength, J-Hope's vision, and Jungkook's courage. Each member brought something unique to the moment. Jin, having completed his service earlier, acted like a grounding force, a calming presence whose eyes rarely left his younger brothers. J-Hope, ever the visionary, used his final tour stop not to celebrate his own solo success, but to lift the group back into the light. And Jungkook, so recently thrust back into the chaos of fame, showed incredible bravery by returning to the public eye so soon after a deeply personal and frightening Saesing incident. Their synergy on stage didn't feel forced. It felt inevitable. Jin's vocals wrapped around Jungkook's like armor. J-Hope's rap lines hit with emotional precision, anchoring the song's message. And in the final chorus, all three voices blended in a way that was less about harmony and more about healing. Looking ahead, the road to reunion. No one can say for certain what comes next. Will BTS fully reunite in 2026? Will each member continue to explore solo projects before circling back as a group? Or was Goyang a one-time miracle? Whatever the future holds, the Goyang performance gave fans something they've longed for, proof that the bond between the members is still unbreakable. It's not just about shared fame or coordinated choreography. It's about shared scars, growth, and loyalty that spans a decade. AS fans filtered out of the stadium that night, some in tears, others simply smiling silently. It became clear that they didn't just witness a concert. They witnessed a vow, a silent promise that even when the world shifts and storms rage, BTS will always find their way back to each other. And to us, the emotional intensity of Jamais didn't stop at Goyang Stadium. In fact, for many, it only began there. Across time zones and continents, millions of ARMYs experienced the performance through live streams, fan cams, and social media clips. The hashtags trended for over 48 hours, with posts in dozens of languages flooding Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and One Brazilian fan posted a video of herself sobbing while watching the clip from her bedroom, captioned, "3 voices, 1 soul. I waited years for this." A German fan project projected images of the performance onto the Brandenburg Gate with the phrase, "Welcome back, BTS." In Seoul, a late-night gathering turned into a full-on fan vigil, with hundreds lighting candles and playing Jamais on loop from portable speakers. The lyrics hit harder this time, fans said, not just because of the long absence, but because of the context. "You say I'm unfamiliar, changed, but I'm still the same," the song goes. For fans, those lines were personal. They, too, had grown and changed while waiting. And now, through one performance, it felt like both sides, idols and fans, had found each other again, inside the stadium. The moment that froze time. Multiple fan accounts described the exact moment when the lights dimmed and the first piano chords of Jamais echoed. Time seemed to slow. One ARMY who attended in person recounted, "The moment Jungkook stepped into the spotlight, everything went silent. We all just froze. It was like watching a ghost return, not because he was gone, but because we missed him so much it didn't feel real." Even more stunning was the moment all 3 members turned toward each other during the bridge. It wasn't choreographed. One staff member reportedly said, "That eye contact, that was real. That was them checking in on each other, making sure they were okay." Jungkook's return, more than just to stage the performance, also marked a turning point for Jungkook himself. Coming off the heels of a frightening incident involving a Seokjin attempting to enter his home shortly after his military discharge, many wondered whether he would stay out of the spotlight. Instead, he chose to stand under the brightest one. His return wasn't just professional. It was personal. It was defiance, said one Korean entertainment columnist. He wasn't just reclaiming his place on stage. He was reclaiming his safety, his identity, his control. That courage was not lost on fans. Messages of love and support poured in. International celebrities and fellow idols publicly praised his resilience. On Weverse, one fan simply wrote, "You came back to us. We'll protect you this time." The post garnered over 1.4 million likes in under 2 hours. J-Hope and Jin, silent guardians of the moment while Jungkook was the center of attention, J-Hope and Jin provided the framework that made the moment possible. J-Hope's artistic direction, choosing Jamais over a more upbeat track, showed a maturity and showmanship that went beyond entertainment. It was about message, about legacy. Jin, on the other hand, didn't say much, but his presence said everything. The eldest member, known for his gentle leadership, kept close to Jungkook, both physically and emotionally. Jin was his anchor, fans said. You could see it in the way he watched over him. HYBE's new challenge, protecting what matters. As the fandom basked in the afterglow of the performance, one question loomed. How will HYBE respond to the Seokjin crisis now that it has touched the stage? Bang Si-hyuk reportedly held a closed-door meeting the day after the concert, with top security and legal advisors. According to a staff leak, new protocols were discussed, including hiring former military personnel as security consultants and increasing digital surveillance of known Seokjin circles. The message is clear. BTS may be back, but the company knows the battle for their safety is far from over. And this time, The world is watching. Would you like the continuation to follow a fictional behind-the-scenes interview with Jungkook, J-Hope, or Jin? Or shift into the legal response by HYB and Bang Si-hyuk? In more detail?